how to find that person that can sign a check for $500,000.
Let's talk before that, how to find beta sites in the US. And then we'll start with that. First of all, in our country, and I think in your country as well, the right thing to do is to go for local enterprises. I was talking before with a security entrepreneur, one of the companies here, and I think he's brilliant and he's doing very well. And what he does is first to go to banks here, and he's trying to locate banks which are international. They have international presence, like Paribas and all the other banks. I think this is really, really important, because if you can get references here, and usually, between the 30 people that are here, if you can change contact, you can create a huge network of contacts and people help each other, and you can find the right person in each enterprise that would be interested in your product. Now, when you present and the person is interested in the product, that doesn't mean that he can buy the product, and that doesn't mean that he will use the product. He might be just a reference to someone else within the company. And basically the idea is to talk to people all the time and to solicit their feedback and ask them, not only who's going to enjoy the product or do something with the product, but who can sign off. Who can really say, okay, we're buying this product. Because sometimes you will see that the technical people, they love the product, they play, they install, they do whatever you want, kind of testing. And then when you want them to buy it, when it's ready for purchase, they basically go to a senior manager who said, I don't know what that is. I don't have budget for that. So I suggest to ask all of these questions as much as possible, beforehand. Try to find out if they have budget, if who's the right person to sign on it, whether they know, this person knows that you started pilot or testing or something like this, so that he will not be surprised, I didn't know you even test this stuff. So I think that's the major idea. And only then you can go to the US. Now, after you got a couple of successful beta sites here, one important thing is to make sure that there are references, meaning that they will be able to talk for you with other customers, either here or in other countries. Or sometimes what we did is create like a document, we called it case study, where we shared how a certain company enjoyed our product, what they said about blah, blah, blah. And then we brought this to the US and showed this to customers in the US. So that, I think, was interesting. And like I said, the bigger the customers you can get here, it's going to have more effect in the US, because they said if you work with this huge bank here or huge electricity company or whatever, a mobile carrier, whatever, that means that you can work with us as well. It's kind of an indication. Now, another point to think about is early adopters. Not all companies are interested in new technology. Some of them and many of them are basically followers. They will not buy anything which is new or beta site or anything like that. Just after you have like 20 customers, then they will join in and work with that as well. And I think it's important for you, again, one thing startups don't have is resources and time, money and time. And you should not spend your time on companies or potential customers who don't have money, who have zero chance of purchasing the product and so forth. You're just wasting your time. It doesn't work. And we've learned it more than once. Another important thing is segmentation. When you develop a product, it's really important to think about what segments it is good for. For example, credit card companies, banks, healthcare companies, telcos, mobile care, whatever. But try to be focused on that, because if you can accomplish like 2-3 beta sites and customers within one segment, it will be easier for you to go to the same segment in other countries and penetrate that as well. I can talk for hours.
Okay, I will stop you soon, but still now you can continue. I think it's okay, yeah? Maybe you have some questions to move the conversation in the way you are interested in. Oh, it's okay.
Feel free. I'm here for you. Another important point. Penetrating the US market is really expensive. it doesn't come cheap. You have to raise lots of money to penetrate the market. Traveling costs a lot of money, support costs a lot of money, sales cost a lot of money, and so forth. Most of the time, you will need someone to be on the ground. U.S. companies want to see usually some presence in the U.S. They want to know that you have an office here that will support them and people that supports them and so forth. They are afraid from startups. They have most of the companies got burned by some startups. Sometimes companies, they look really promising and they raise a lot of money, blah, 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 and they sell you these boxes or software or whatever, and then a year later they run out of money and they bankrupt and whatever you bought is completely obsolete. So you need to somehow assure them or try to assure them, give them a sense of assurance that you're here to stay. And that means to bring some American people on board for support, for sales, whatever the budget allows you to do, and take it from there. I think that's really important.